Hello, welcome back to another video. This is the I can't remember day of the advent calendar, where we have the worst piston door to ever build because of this monstrosity on the top. Don't ask about it. I'm going to show you what it does. I'm not going to wait for damn spam, so I'm just going to show you what it does. So I could technically just have a 4x4, but that's not unique. As I said, like about 2 days ago. Not 2 days ago, but you get the idea. Yeah, so we're gonna build this. There we go. So there is one problem with this door, is that I don't know how often it is, but every now and then these blocks would be here. So I don't know why it's like that. It's just unreliable every now and then. I'm not sure why it is like that. It's probably because of this dropper loop on the top, but it seems to be fine. I'm not sure. So you're going to need a 3x10 area, and let's get building. So we need to start with a worm on the bottom. It's going to go directly in the center, like this, and we're just going to place. Those are going to be the floor blocks, and then those are going to be the door blocks, and then your frame would go right here. We're going to start with the bottom and work our way up. So let's start with the closing, but we need to start with the inputs. The input's in the bottom left. It could actually technically be at the back, but I have it here because, well, yeah, it's actually one up from the corner. I have it like this because it allows me to save space. So, yeah. That's the input. It's a stone button input. It could also be a wooden. We're gonna have this repeater output with a dust. So then we're going to go right into the closing, which is going to have a burnout on the bottom. So we need a block here. There's going to be a dropper loop under here afterwards, but we're going to get to that. I suggest you get a movable block, so let's pick an immovable block. What could we use? Let's use respawn anchors, because why the heck not? Why the heck not use respawn anchors? You know, you can just use obsidian. I'm using a bunch of different immovable blocks because memes. So you start with a burnout like this, and you're gonna place a dust on top. Then you're gonna go to here with the same dust line. Now this block is here for afterwards. And then we need to have this here, because I don't know why this dust is actually here, but fine. And then we need some slabs to go up. So we need, first of all, this here, and also that dust here acts as an updater for this burnout. So this is the whole closing, except for the toggles that go around it. So if I remove this, and I press this button, you can see this goes up, and you can see that will close the door, and they'll get pushed down from the top. So we can fill this back in, and then put your removable blocks back on top. Respawn anchor. I'm just gonna put it also to the side here so I can get it back after. So that will do the closing on the bottom. We now need a way to do the, I guess, fire the opening, and that's what this dust is also for. This is the, I guess you could say, well, this is going to fire the side pistons and other stuff. So this here is probably just going to be an opening trigger, so we're going to get yellow. I do have a texture pack on, unlike the other versions. So if we look here, we have our first of our clips. This block needs to be a vortex repeater. This block needs to be a dust meter dropper, and now we can start doing our clip. So the easiest way that I found of doing this without doing a full clip is just to have a float cart. So make have a 2-tick. Is drop a regular minecart on top, and then make a float cart to the right. So the way the float carts work is when you 0-tick it, it will move it ever so slightly over the block. So it'd be 1 centimeter and then 195 nanometers to the right. So you can see, like that. And this makes it so this hopper can pick up the items, but still be dispensed by this dropper. Like, you can see, it's in there. And I can't remember where the home dropper is. It is at the back. Right? Yeah. I just moved that and that doesn't work. I'm an actual idiot. So drop this, make sure to 0-tick it. And then we'll take an output on a slab, please. And then this just is a way to keep the delay after the opening. And I don't remember this door whatsoever because I made it like 2 months ago. And I don't want to memorize 20 piston doors because it's literally stupid to do so. So, yeah, you get the idea. We now need to control our side pistons, and we have a toggle here, and also a toggle up here. So the side pistons are quite thick, because yeah, we need this piston here to act as a what's it called? A thing. So what we're gonna do is take an output from this 1-tick and have this go into a block, which will now enter the sides. So the yellow will control the side pistons into. Okay. So we're gonna go up into this, into a 2-tick, 3 obs, and then into a sticky piston in the back here. This would control the one of the eyes. With this, we also want a solid immovable block here, so I'm going to pick something that's not obsidian. Let's use dispensers. And, because there's going to be something in front of it, I don't want to see the face of it, so let's do this. But you can obviously just use obsidian, like I've used there. I'm just doing it for the memes. So, it's like that, and then we need 2 note blocks, 1 there, because that will be butted by this here, redstone block, will be butted from that note block, and then we will take an output from that like this, and that will put in an extra quartz block, like that. We will next need a hopper, meaning so that this goes like this. And then we have 2 up here. If you hear anything like loud noises, it's just background noise. I'm sorry about that. I can't do anything about it. And then we're going to have a toggle. This could trigger the top. So that will do this side. To do the other side, we need our dropper loop to trigger the top, which is going to be a long sand chain here plus some extra side pistons. So first we have to make this dropper loop. This dropper loop involves some cart placement, as you can see here. So we need to remove this and this. The dropper loop starts right around here, I believe. Yes, it does. Okay. And it actually faces into the pistons, because I need a T flip-flop here. And there will be a dropper here. Hoppers to return, like so. 3 of them. And this here. So we're going to get from this dropper to this hopper. And the way we're going to do that is really smart. We're going to push a fence cart on top of this. So it's simple fence cart. Hopper minecart. Like this. But now what we need is a minecart inside of 4 blocks, which is going to be the chest minecart. So we need to push it like this, but then we need to push it across into cobblestone walls. This can technically be fences, but this is just a safety precaution to make sure that it actually stays on top of that minecart below us. We're just going to roll it in using powered rails. So now it's not out of place. Break that. Use a normal piston. Hold on. Be right back. Just skip to the time in the description. Oh my god, I have to like waste my time with stuff in my life. I'm sorry about that. I have to deal with stuff in my life. Okay, so this, we'll just push it to there and this dropper. But the issue is because there's worms in here, we have to drop another minecart to prevent this chest minecart from moving upwards. Like that. And because minecarts cannot push other minecarts, this works. So if you have access to world edit, you could just world edit these in. I'm not going to, but yeah. Basically what you do is you place 3 sticky pistons like this and then 3 buttons on them. And then you place dust on all of these into place. This one you just aim at that block. And then the next thing you have to do is going to be kind of painful. You have to push sticky pistons inwards. Now, you have to do this from the side here, because it's impossible otherwise, without updating the burnout, because I'm trying to be as cautious as possible. Zero tick these in, and then have a dropper here, and this, and then we will get to how we trigger this all afterwards. So yeah, those are the first of the actual minecart placements here. The item will be in this dropper here, but first I want to actually get the blocks in from above. So you can do the same thing as before, just zero tick these 2 in. But never mind. Please. And if you're probably wondering how do I do that, basically can just do this. Hit this in midair. I just hit left click and right click, hold on. I have to do stuff in my life. I'm sorry about this. I'm actually gonna regret this. Anyways, push these two blocks using zero checks. It doesn't matter if it powers that dropper. So there. We can now see that the loop is complete. And if we fire the worm, which I'm not going to, it's gonna be really bad to put back. So we need to start working on how we're gonna fire the top, but we still have to fire the other side piston. So what we need is a line of dust from this block here down to here. So this will continue this way, and it's gonna go up. Well, actually, it's a repeater, but sure. Repeater. And this is gonna go into a block. Actually, if I made this correct, it actually, did I do this wrong? I think I might have did this wrong. Did I do this wrong? Oh, I didn't. Never mind. I thought I did this wrong for a second. So you just gotta place it on the upper half of the block, and then you travel 3 slabs and then into a block. So a lot of dust here. On the bottom, we have this block with a sticky piston facing upwards. This will fire this here, which has the rest of the block here. Obviously we need to do this. And then next we have to do the rest of our seamless. So we have a dust here, and this is where the seamless starts. We need, well, not the seamless, this, and then we can fill these in. So this here will power this one, and then we're going to have a hopper here, but we also need a dispenser or any movable block. There. And then we need this block here, and then you can see those power these, but then to power this one, we're using a 1-tick repeater output from this block to go up into a hopper into this. So as you can see, we have the yellow completed. It's a big circuit. It stretches across the whole door like this. And next we have to do the top control, which is going to be in line. So it's a big rainbow. So in here we're going to have one item. So if you don't have these movable blocks, I suggest you put those now and take out this. There's no item in here right now. So put an item in this backdrop right here. What you're going to see is this conveyor is going to turn off, and then it's going to turn back on again. So if I power this button, I'm a genius. You can see this turned off, and the item is down in that dropper there. Don't mind the yelling in the background if you do hear that. I'm sorry about that. So now that you can see the item is in that dropper, when we power the button again, see, there's no item because we're missing that dust, and block this off with a lime block. So this would have fired this dropper. As you can see, so if I fire this again, burner goes, that fires, and then we'll fire the button again. And it happens with a little bit of delay. We can now extend this into an observer facing up. And then we have a 4-tick repeater, which is what we have to use. And then we're going to use a sticky piston here with any pushable block that's not an observer or a resin block, so we just use a glass for now. And then we want a ton of concrete powder that stretches all the way to the top of the door to here. And that is how we control the top. So that is the top control done, I believe. We still have to fire some other stuff as well. We still have to do some burnout stuff as well. Okay, so what we need, so we're not done yet firing this. We still have to actually fire the quad. So we should actually start making it. So we need 4 pistons at the top, obviously, and then we want a sticky piston here, with an observer, and then this with an observer, like that, and we don't need any updaters, I don't think. Does not look like it. Okay, so that's your layout on the top. We still need to make our burnout thing, but we're gonna do that once we actually finish lime, which would be done when we put this piston here, these 2 ogs, 3 actually, and then this lime block. We'll start the entire quad on the top. So now let's move on to the quad circuit, which will be in blue. As you can see, I'm going through a big rainbow here. So there will be droppers and hoppers here later. So we're going to make these droppers and hoppers now. So 2 droppers like this, 2 droppers facing this way, 2 dust here. I also suggest you also put removable blocks here. I'm using respawn anchors because why not? These have to be droppers, by the way, not dispensers. So let's get blue wool. Now, there will be carts here, which we will do later. And then we need this dust on the lower half, plus this here, which will fire this sticky piston redstone block into this dust. Now this dust will spam this piston, but because of specific timings it won't matter. And then this will do the whole quad. So if we give this a 1 tick, so by extending this piston, if I was actually smart and remove this, I just did this down, and we're missing one more thing, and we need to pull this up. So we have to do it very specifically, and it requires it with 2 repeaters, like 2 1 ticks. It can't be anything more or anything less. And this will just pull these up. So these will actually be up here at the top, like this. And this will be dust and stuff later. And then when we unfire this piston, so if I fire this, you can see with the new thing, that pulls up. And yeah, so now let's put our respawn anchors back up. And that's actually the whole quad. We just have to do the bunch of refires and everything, which is going to be the worst part of the whole door. So yeah. Let's get to that. We first need to go to this side, because this side requires the start of everything. Over here, we need a concrete powder. So this is the purple circuit, which is actually it's technically part of the extension still, so just make this blue. Concrete powder. This needs to be concrete powder because we just need it to fall back down again. Because if it's the only thing we could actually use here. We then need to roll the furnace minecart in. Now, this is just a visual glitch, this is not outside the door whatsoever, as you can see. So, if you're in a single player world, you could just, if you're in a single player world, or no one's within your range, so like if no one's in your plot on a server, you can just disconnect and then reconnect, that fixes that, but that doesn't matter. Get a gold pressure plate, or an iron pressure plate, I just prefer gold, and a cobweb on the top. So this acts as a pulse extender, so it'll turn on and then wait a really long time to turn off. And up here we have this neat system that has this upwards, with this block here, this redstone block here. Now this is where the complex stuff actually happens. We want a dust here, dust there, and I think it's dust like this. And that goes into a dropper hopper. Because we need to refire this quad extender from this point. So that's what we're going to do. We need a slab here. And this is a slab so that the dust behind it here does not power either that dropper or that piston breaking it. This goes into there, and then what we're going to do is stack this up, and this is where all the delay stuff comes in. So we actually don't stack it up, we do a little loop like this. That's perfectly fine. And now we have to go through this extremely long chain, which is going to end up being delay for afterwards. Now, we need to pull this back up, so that's what this is for. But we also need to fire a part of the quad as well. So we need a note block under here. This sticky piston and this normal piston will fire this piston right here. So we're going to get a fence minecart here. Now I have to hope that when I put this minecart in, it doesn't move backwards and hit this one, so. Is it outside? It's not. Okay, so that's fine. Remove that. Get another gold pressure plate there. This one does not need to be on top of a pressure plate. We need a dropper here and a four-tick. This four-tick is perfectly timed with everything else, and it will update the burnout, pushing the observers down. And this is probably why this doesn't work 100% of the time. It works about 95%, I'll say. We still need to pull this up and then make the big dropper loop, so we'll put a four-tick here, and this is for the purple, actually, technically. So we need a clip that goes inside a dropper, two droppers. Well, we need basically a minecart inside this dropper to move up and down. So the way we're going to do this is we're going to roll a minecart inside the dropper. This is the only way you can do this. Next, what you're going to do is push it across. Now, normally, this minecart sits on the dropper underneath, but I just like having a glass block there because I think it looks better. So next, what you do is get end rods. Now, why are there end rods? Well, first of all, if you have fences like this fence's hitbox is now changed. So now if you push this across, it will hit this part of the new hitbox here and will not go across. End rods going across have a similar effect, but they don't connect. So this just makes my life easier. Otherwise, you have to remove the dropper using World Edit and then put it back in, but that's impossible. Or you could just use a farmland trick with it already inside 4 blocks, but this is just easier. And then, just to make my life better, just put purple glass underneath here. Because, yeah. And next we need purple wool here. You can just push this in normally, but I'm going to use a zero tick. Next what you need is a gold pressure plate here, and then this here. We put a dropper under there for later, and then we place this hopper, which connects into there. There's going to be a clip in here later that's going to be really bad if we don't time it right, because it's going to move this minecart. So, the way we're going to do it is we're going to do it in a way that's going to be completely safe. So, yeah. And then we need a dust here, and this is going to pull this up at the right time. And pulling this up will basically refire a dropper loop, which this here was actually the hardest part of the whole thing. This pressure plate will lock the item inside here, and then this will send the output back into this. So we now have to make the dropper loop. The first thing I suggest we do is we drop these minecarts in, so we can drop a hopper minecart in from above, and then a chest minecart in from above. Place the burnout back. That's fine. And yeah, the next thing we need to do is get this minecart clip. Now this minecart clip can be done normally with the fencing gate, but what I like to do is I like to place a fence gate here, like that, but you have to keep it a fence gate. Or you technically could just float it to the left, but we have to have a hopper above it, and the hopper might not be placeable. So here's how we're going to do it. We're going to have, I don't know if this actually works or not, we're going to roll a chest minecart downwards really slowly. And then, okay, so that doesn't actually work. I thought that would work. Basically, you have to roll it down and then break the rail really fast. You have 2 to 4 game ticks to do so, otherwise it's going to move that minecart there, I think. And this also allows us to place hoppers here. But also, this minecart is low enough, so this will not put the item in here 100% of the time. It will never put it there. We can place this 4 tick back, and all we need now is to, well, because of my OCD, I don't have, but because of fake OCD, I just want this minecart to be positioned right. It will automatically fix itself eventually. Cover there, and then this block, like that. So what we now need to do is the dropper that I placed earlier is actually facing in the wrong direction. So you're going to have to redo this minecart placement. I'm an actual idiot. So yeah. Remove this, make this actually face this way. First minecart, please. And then I can push it across, which means I have to redo this minecart placement as well. I'm so good at this game, please actually do what I want. That could have been bad if I pried that pressure plate. Roll this across. Just gonna teleport him over here. I powered that, but that's fine. Place this goes there, that goes here. We can actually place this hopper here, so yeah. We can roll this down, and that was too fast. That's perfect. And there, that 4 tick goes into there. So I made a mistake earlier, but that fixed it. But we also need to push a purple block back in. And this is almost been just about 35 minutes now. Okay, so we now need to get this dropper. We basically need to just return the item. So we just need to basically just return the item. So we're gonna place this hopper here. This pressure plate will actually pull this up to retract these pistons away. But it's also gonna lock the item that's gonna be in this hopper at the time to do the last pulse. Now I'm gonna get this minecart in here, and then we're gonna get a sticky piston here, and then an observer there. This should finish the door if I did nothing wrong. The home dropper for this item is this one here. So we're gonna put the item in this dropper. This should work. I am not too sure if this will work, is the issue. It does look like it will, but we have to wait and see. me check the back. Those should be extended. Now the opening. Actually check if the item actually did reset. It did. Okay, so that is the whole door completed. It is a big rainbow, and this is actually the door I thought I was going to fail at. The duck door is actually the one I failed at, sadly. So, yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed, and I will see you in the next episode where we build this one wide 4x4 that was supposed to be a meme, and I didn't actually make this one. I don't know how to say this, but I'm just going to say Pusher. Well, his name is something different. It's like King something. But I'm going to give him credit for making this. Because, yeah. Why not? Anyways, I will just press this button. See you next time.